I have my handy dandy recipe notebook, so you already know what time it is. Welcome to my channel. This is Minnie Moving Mountains. My name is Minnie, and this is my series called Minnie Meals. Disclaimer, I am not a professional chef, nor am I a nutritionist. I'm just a girl in her moo who cooks every night for her husband, so I can teach you how to cook, change up your meals for the week, or just give you something positive to watch. There is no fancy lighting. I just use a craft light. There is no fancy editing. I do this in one cut. And there's no fancy makeup or filters. Just me showing you the things that I'm passionate about, which is cooking and baking, my weight loss journey, and crafting. Today is Sunday, June 14th, 2026, meal number 112. Today, I'm making Mexican beef black bean bowls with bell peppers and corn, Cojita cheese, fresh salsa, and lime. So with the instructions, I do turn around the camera because I assure you, there is nothing fancy going on here. I just want to focus on what you came here for, which is to learn how to cook. So let's move mountains together and let's get cooking. Here are the ingredients for today's recipe. Now remember, I just cooked for my husband and I, so if you have a family that's bigger than ours, you would double, triple, or quadruple the recipe. On today's episode, you're going to need ground beef, 3/4 cup of jasmine rice, 1 red onion finely diced, 1 can of corn drained, black beans with their liquid, bell peppers diced, a lime that is zested and quartered, fresh salsa of your choice, 1 tablespoon of smoked paprika, 1/8 cup of Cojita cheese, and cilantro that's finely chopped. To our stovetop, you're going to have 2 large burners on medium heat. To a medium pot on medium heat, you're going to melt 2 tablespoons of butter. While we wait for our butter to melt, we're going to make our corn salsa. You're going to use half of the canned corn, 2 tablespoons of the diced onion, 1 tablespoon of diced green pepper, lime zest, juice from 1/4 of a lime, Cojita cheese, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, pepper, and smoked paprika, and cilantro. Mix well and then set aside until ready to serve. Once your butter has melted, you're going to add your rice, corn, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, pepper, and smoked paprika, 1 1/4 cup of water. Mix well so the rice doesn't stick to the bottom, and bring this to a boil. While we wait for our rice to come to a boil, to a large pan on medium heat, you're going to heat up a neutral oil. This is olive. Add your ground beef and mash finely. Season your meat with 1/4 teaspoon of salt, pepper, all-purpose seasoning, garlic powder, and paprika. Mix well. And I am going to turn around the camera for a second just so we can chat. Y'all, I had a comment the other day where somebody said that they didn't have the seasonings that I have, or I also get comments of their family seasons things differently. Y'all, this is just how I season my food. I don't care how you season your food, as long as you're seasoning it. And if you don't want to season your food, don't season your food. This is what I have. The seasonings I always have in my pantry are salt, pepper, all-purpose seasoning, garlic powder, and paprika. I just do simple things very well. If you don't want to use those seasonings, you want to use adobo, that's okay, guys. Use what you have. Back to the scheduled program. Once the rice starts to boil, you're going to mix it once more so it doesn't stick to the bottom. Reduce heat to low. Cover. My white timer is for my stovetop. You're going to simmer the rice on low for 15 minutes. To our pot with the beef, you're going to add your onions, green pepper, season with 1/4 teaspoon of salt and pepper, and the remainder of the smoked paprika. Mix well. My blue timer is for my induction burner. You're going to cook the meat and the vegetables for 4 minutes. Once your meats and vegetables have cooked, you're going to add your beans with the liquid. Not drop the bowl into the pot. Juice from 1/4 of a lime, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt and pepper. Mix well. and reduce to a low heat until the remainder of the cook. Once your rice has cooked, you're going to fluff with a fork, and then dinner is served, time to plate. And that's it. You did it. You made a home-cooked meal. I'm going to turn around the camera so we can chat. Thank you guys so much for joining me on today's episode. It's truly an honor and privilege to be able to cook with you guys. For this recipe, you'll be able to find it on my website, which is www.minniemeals.com. For my long-form content, you can find it on my YouTube channel, which is Minnie Salvant, as well as Facebook at Minnie Salvant. Short-form content can be found on my TikTok, Lemonade, or Instagram at Minnie Moving Mountains. And if you're looking for a car, you can find me at Minnie Moving Motors or at Sunrise Volkswagen of Fort Pierce. Let's move mountains together, and what should I cook next? I'll see you guys next time. Bye!